Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today, we're doing a wheel bearing. Let's get to it. So I've already got all the tools. I done figured everything out that I needed. No big deal. I'm gonna set you guys here. That'll kinda, sorta, yeah, that'll work. I apologize ahead of time if I don't seem terribly enthusiastic. I'm tired, but I got a lot to get done today. So, we're gonna get after it. Take all 5 of your lug nuts off, 3/4 inch socket, 19 millimeter. Take your screwdriver. Go into the back of the caliper and then gently peel a little bit of slack into it. See how I've got the little gap opened up there? That's all you're looking for. You just want to be able to get the caliper to slide off. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take the whole entire brake caliper bracket off as one whole chunk rather than taking the caliper off. So, for me, it's a 13/16 for the brake caliper bolts. Also, go ahead and get you a bungee cord. Stick that bad girl all the way up. That way you can hang your caliper up when you get it off. You want it kind of up out of the way so that you can get to everything. Now that that's off, the rotor should just come off, but because I didn't do anything about it last time, that rusted back up. And of course this didn't stay up. Anyway. Alright, so we got the two bolts. Those are 13/16. We're going to go ahead and take the center CV axle nut off. If you need to stop, go back the other way. Right, come back off. Now's not a bad time for PB Blaster, but I'm too lazy. Now, the smart thing is to take and just tap. Push your axle back, just make sure it's not seized up, because if it's seized up, you're not going to be able to get it off real easy. You're almost there. Grab you a 10 mil. There's one on the bottom. I like using the impact on these little guys because you have like a 50-50 shot of whether or not it breaks. So it's those 3 screws right there. There, and then one on the bottom. All right, so the bearing I bought comes with a new ABS sensor on it, so I can go ahead and finagle all this out of the way. So basically, pay attention, take note of all this stuff up in here. Don't let your pads fall apart, and that's absolutely what happened. Gosh, dang it, dagnabbit, son of a bitch. Okay, all right. Okay, well, I did the other side just fine without everything falling out of the brake caliper, but it happened. On this back side, you're going to have 4 15 millimeters. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to press up against the axle, and then you can slide it onto the back. And then once it's on, it's on. And again, this is another one of them jobs that I'm doing in real time, because I want you to understand that this is something you can do with basic hand tools and something you can do with power tools. I mean, obviously people use power tools for this stuff more often than not, but the point is, none of this stuff's very hard. You just got to commit, pay attention. Now these bolts are pretty long, so once you get them all out, you're going to have to push the axle in for them to clear, for them to come out of the holes. This job isn't too bad, but the van has a substantial amount of mileage on it. And I don't think these have ever been done before. Two on the right side, and then there's 2 on this back side. And it's the same thing. You just gotta I know this is boring. I apologize for not really having too much to fill the void. I'm really tired. I had immunotherapy day before yesterday, and usually for a few days after each treatment, I'm pretty well obliterated. Like I said, new ABS sensor, so pop this guy out of all of these. And then, it's hard to show you this, but follow it up in there, and then there's a 2-piece clip. I'll show it to you on the new one. I'll show you this real quick too. All right. So we're up in here, right? And we're looking at these wires. You see that little red piece? That red piece is a lock. So you got to get behind it. And they can be pretty stubborn, especially if you're doing it one-handed. Of course, it's all gonna fight. Right. So, I got it up. See how it's lifted? So now you can press the tab inside of it and pull that out. Alright, now all that's loose. You can just flop that off and over. Now, I will say, I don't know how much it's worth to you. It's not really worth much to me. Ta-da! The ABS sensors in these wheel bearings are still technically good for me. I didn't have an ABS light, so I guess you could keep them and save a couple of dollars later, but for me, these have 223,000 miles on them, so no. Yeah. Alright, so this thing has no play, but it sounds so crunchy. We'll get over to that in a minute. So, I took these shims off, and the reason I took them off is because the back of this original wheel bearing is really flat. Really, really, really flat. And looking at this new one, it is not flat. And so, I'm thinking maybe they redesigned it because that sits so much more proudly. But anyway, just remember your cable goes off that way. Unwrap your deal, slide it onto the axle first, and then line up your splines a little bit. And don't listen. A lot of people don't think about this. People try to like turn the axle to do whatever to line this up. Turn the body. Don't turn the axle. See, I lift the axle, turn the body. You see what I'm doing, right? Turn the body to line your holes up, and you won't run into all them dumbass problems. Now, to save your toes, take your axle nut, put your axle nut back on. Do not tighten it yet. Just get it on there, get a couple of threads into it, and get it holding the wheel bearing so it doesn't fall out on you. First things first, get the bearing in there. It doesn't matter if it doesn't sit super flush right out the box. That's fine. You are going to tighten it and fix a lot of that problem. But you need to make sure that it is left and right lined up so that the bolts will actually go into the hole. So now that we're back here, you can see I got them 2 bolts in, and then right there, okay? Easy peasy. And you notice there's still a small gap. It doesn't wiggle very much because I've snugged up most of the bolts pretty good. So we're in okay shape. Try to get what you can finger tight, just so that you're not sitting here with the wrench for an exceptionally long amount of time, trying to work a quarter turn at a time. You heard the pop. That was it, kind of going into place. Now, I also don't know what the torque is on these, but I'm here to tell you, a lot. Not a lot, but a lot. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the crank on it. And I'm doing this with a longer wrench, so I am getting really good torque on this. These are only 15 mil on the head, which means it's probably 7/16, 3/8 half-inch shaft. Okay. Alrighty. Get all these back in, wired up correctly. Now you'll see they gave me a new one of these. I'm not doing that, but we'll keep that for later. So weirdly, they want you to come under like this, and then over like that. And then you... Nope, I did it wrong again. You go up and over. Then you go. And then you go. And then you go. All right, so up inside of there is a clip just like this. I did not remove it. It does not like to come off. So if you take and push on this nice and firmly, it should release. Maybe. It's not. Okay. Okay, well, since they did a good job with that clip staying in, I took the old one out. So basically now you just line your 2 plugs back up like so, and then you clip them back together. And then you reach up underneath of here, make sure that it rolls the right way, and you should be able to see right there. It just goes up into them 2 holes right there. But basically that like routing keeps everything up, out, away from the wheel, and no big deal. And now it's just, now's a good time. You can go ahead and put this back on, tighten it all the way up if you want. But you're basically done with the wheel bearing now. Like we're together enough that you're driving down the road. So, all right, go ahead, get these 3 small 10 mils back up here. Now, these are 10 mils. They did not have any anti-seize or anti-lock on, anti-seize or Loctite on them. So, I'm not putting any on it. They also only took like the littlest bit of a dugga to loosen. So I'm only going to give it the littlest bit of a dugga to hold it. Mostly what I'm going to do is I've started all of these by hand, and I'm just going to gently, just like that. Should be plenty. Again, 10 mils, not a big thing, not crazy. Now, I know that this gun took this off, so I know that it going back on is probably okay. Okay, so rotor. Smack that bad boy. Now, I don't know if you heard me. I actually kind of took a break, and I didn't like stop for any length of time, but I just mean like I took a second to pause the video and then fight what I was fighting and then come back. So one of my little bitty pieces of stainless hardware came falling out. That's why. Okay. So we're going to slide this pad back in. And the hope is that us just getting it back in the hardware will actually hold it most of the way back in place. Alrighty. Get your 2 big bolts. Once you get the top one, then the bottom one's always just a little wiggle it in or out kind of thing. I'm gonna tell you, I'm excited to have this fixed, because ever since I made my trip to Never Done Projects, I haven't been able to really use this but once or twice to just run up to the corner store and back to keep the battery topped up. I like this van a lot, and oh, this was a bad bearing. If you know, but that's what we call all the duggas. done. Alrighty. Check, double check. Everything's good. Tight, tight. Studs look good and new. Take your little bungee cord down. Don't forget that up in there, because if that catches the tire, it'll poke a hole in it. Alrighty. All right. Hate these goddamn chrome lug nuts. Okay, now the moment you've been waiting for. Yeah, that's pretty bad. You can actually see the heat where it's been getting hot. That's kind of cool. But anyway, this has been how to do a front wheel bearing on a I think it's 2008 to like 2016. Although I'm pretty sure it's the same for all of the new ones. I don't think it changes much. But the sizes they used might change a little bit. See, this is what we call ground clearance, because I can look at that. Hiya. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to give an update. You guys see way over yonder, all of the gator and everything's out. So I got a good amount of the yard cleared out. Excuse me, of course, I'm still nasally as hell. I have started a regimen of Sudafed and Mucinex, and I'm hopeful that, well, I feel better in my nasals, but I'm still creating a little bit of mucosis and all that. And I say mucosis because I wanted to sound fancy, not because that's the word. Mucus is the correct term, but when you say mucus, it just sounds kind of bad. It's kind of like saying moist. Moist. Anyway, you see we got the motor under here. I got the paint on it. I mean, if you saw the video that I haven't uploaded yet, which by the time this video uploads, that video should be up. But you see, we're under the lean-to now. I didn't know, but we actually have a tropical storm, tropical depression coming through sometime this evening in through the weekend. So getting this done, getting the grass all cut and tightened up, I needed it. I am actually going to be going and doing a favor for a buddy, my buddy Ricky. He needs me to store a car for him, so that's why this is up here where it's at, because I'm actually going to go wash my hands and everything, get cleaned up a little bit, and I'm going to drive this up to Amanda, and I'm going to switch out with her and take the truck so that I can come back home and put the truck on the dolly on the truck. But basically, in a nutshell, it's really easy to do these. You see that this is 30 minutes. I'll admit I had a couple of cuts, but I was only gone for a couple of minutes in between each cut because I literally needed my other hand. And I have a bad habit of my videos being way too long and way too this and way too that. So we're just, this is where we're at. This is what we're trying to do. This is why we're trying to do it. So front wheel bearing, really easy. Took less than a half an hour's worth of time. I actually took a whole hour to do both sides. So my recommendation to you, if you decide to do a wheel bearing, I'm not saying do all 4 front and back, but I am saying do both left and right. So that way, because you figure if you've never done one and you don't know if a previous owner's ever done one, the wheel bearing that's going bad may be going bad because of mileage. Well, they all have the same mileage on them, but the front axles, because the engine and the transmission typically sit over top of them, always take a bigger beating. So anytime you do front wheel bearings, do both of them. Just save yourself the time, save yourself the trouble, jack the whole front end up, take both sides apart, put both sides back together. I've literally been out here an hour and a half, and I'm done. Like, not just done, but like done. Like, I know it's good. I know we're about to roll down the road and be exactly what it needs to be. So, on that, I'd say kind of sort of speedy bombshell today. That's what I've got. So, if any of you guys could be super kind and consider liking, consider commenting, consider subscribing if you want to see more stuff like this. I have to be a little transparent. There's a lot of stuff that I don't get to do because I'm poor. I'm not ashamed of being poor, and I'm not asking for handouts because I'm poor. But what I'm trying to explain is there are jobs that I will not get to do. 1, because I don't own the vehicle. 2, no one I know owns the vehicle. 3, the likelihood that I'll find somebody that has the vehicle and has this, particular problem you may be searching for, I can't do much about it. But if you consider liking and subscribing, once I hit 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours per year for the year, I can monetize. And then I can put ads on this stuff for you guys to suffer through for me so that we can grow this channel and actually try to end up with something kind of fun. I like this stuff. I'm a car guy. I want to keep doing car guy stuff. So, if you like my banter, which, again, this video wasn't super great on me being terribly chatty. For those of you longer-term followers who have been, keyed in on everything I'm going through, I had a treatment a couple days ago, like I said at the beginning of the video, for my cancer, for my immunotherapy stuff. And I just get really wore out really quickly for a few days after everything. And yesterday I did a little video on painting Will's motor, and you guys, once you see that video, you'll see what I went through. Was not much, but by the time I was outside for 2 hours, I felt like I was ready to die. Exhaustion, fatigue, just drained, not wanting to move. Like, I'm starting to understand at 35 what them old men used to talk about when that battery finally starts to run out and doesn't hold the same charge it used to. Boy, howdy. I'm not trying to say I'm old, because I know I'm not. But damn if I don't feel old, and damn if I don't feel tired. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for sticking around with me. I appreciate you watching. I hope to see you next time on the next video. And basically just have fun. Build what you got, make it yours. All right, y'all. Bye-bye.